So what grosses out a Plague Marine? And of the five characters that are elite choices in the Death Guard Codex, which one of them is the best? We're going to answer those questions and a couple others coming right up. Hello again, Tabletop Warriors, and welcome back to the Plague Den. My name's Tony, and this is my continuing video series where we explore the 40k universe one model at a time. If you're new to this channel, welcome, and please consider subscribing for more videos just like this. So to answer today's question, what grosses out a Plague Marine? Well, apparently a Foul Blightspawn. When the Plague Marines get called up and ascend back to the Plague Planet to become Foul Blightspawns, once they get back introduced, their stench is so overwhelming that even the Plague Marines themselves balk at it. So there you go. We're going to talk about these guys today. So today's model is the Foul Blightspawn. I'm going to give you some tactics and tips to how to use these guys in your army, and we're going to go right at it. Going with number one, the Revolting Stench ability. Enemy units that charge this turn are within 7 inches of this model at the start of the fight phase are struck by a stench so foul that they falter, losing their impetus. Such a unit does not get to fight first in the fight phase, but can be chosen to fight like other units that did not charge. This ability also affects units that have abilities that would enable them to fight first as if they had charged. So that's an ability that makes this guy really good when you're talking about a meta that puts you up against some glass cannon lists. So if you play in a meta or your local gaming store, your opponents like to play a lot of Alpha Strike glass cannon lists, this guy is really good to put in your list because you can set him in with some of your units. That's a 7-inch aura, and anybody charging in kind of loses that initiative to fight first in the charge phase. They get to pick. It just goes into regular you pick, I pick, you pick, I pick, instead of those models fighting first. So big thing with him is taking away that ability to fight first, and keep that in mind if you know you're going to go up against a list or an army that kind of plays a glass cannon tactic. If you don't know what a glass cannon tactic is, basically it delivers a really big punch turn 1 into turn 2, but it doesn't have a lot of defense, and once you make it past turn 1 and 2, they don't have a lot of gas left to make it the rest of the game because their models go down quick. So using this guy to make it through those first couple of charges is a huge bonus. Moving on to number 2. It's going to be that Unholy Death's Head Grenade. Each Foul Blightspawn carries a single Unholy Death's Head Grenade once per battle. Foul Blightspawn or another friendly Death Guard character within 3 inches of him can throw an Unholy Death's Head Grenade instead of either a Blight Grenade or a Hyper Blight Grenade. When they do so, change that weapon's type to Grenade 2d6. So depending on your role here, this can be a really good character killer. You can use this Unholy Death Head's Grenade and change your Grenade 1 to Grenade 2d6. So you could have average roll of 7, 7 strength 6 grenades at -1 AP and D3 damage. So that can do a ton of damage. And you can really take out a poorly placed character from your opponent if they're not paying attention to what they're doing and they get too close. So that's number 2, is that Unholy Death's Head Grenade. You only get to use it once per battle, so make sure that when you do use it, you're using it the best you can and making it count and getting as much bang for your buck out of it. But it's a great option. Number 3 is where this guy fits in that elite slot. So you do have 5 characters to choose from for the elite slot. The Foul Blightspawn is the most expensive at 77 points. The Putrefier being 74, the Blightbringer being 65, the Plague Surgeon is 65, and the Tallyman is 62. Now, all of these guys have the same stat line. Movement 5 inches, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3, strength 4, toughness 5, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a 3+ save. They all have Death to the False Inspirer, and they all have the disgustingly resilient trait. Now, what makes this guy really good, though, however, and I think is the best, is his combination of abilities. As we already talked about, the Revolting Stench, the Unholy Death's Head. We'll get to the weapon here in a minute, but I think just the combination overall, he is the most expensive, but the things that he does in the package makes him the best elite choice. And remember, you can take more than one, so you can run a couple of these guys and another character if you really wanted to. You could take them into detachment with, you could take 3 of them into detachment with a Chaos Lord or a Demon Prince, and just kind of put those guys into your Plague Marine units or your Poxwalker units, or having to move around. He does have the 5-inch move, so everybody's slow, but he's given that benefit to, if you take multiple, he's given that benefit to a couple of different units to stop that charge, the attacks on the charge. And if you put him with, say, a Demon Prince, and you make the Demon Prince your Warlord and give him the Arc Contaminator, he gets to reroll all those wounds from the weapon. So number 4 is going to be that Plague Sprayer. It's got a 9-inch range, Assault D6, Strength 2d6, AP -3, 3 damage. It is a Plague weapon, so you're rerolling the ones. It automatically hits. This thing is kind of a beast. You're looking at the possibility of doing 18 damage. So if you get 6 hits at 3 damage each and they all go through, that's 18 damage. It can take down a whole ton of stuff. Now, I understand that there's some randomness here, and you could roll 2 on the 2d6, and you could roll a 1 on the d6, and then you have 1 basic hit at strength 2. And I understand that, but the average roll of 2d6 is going to be 7. So your average strength for this guy is 7. The assault d6 is kind of random, but even if it's 2 or 3, or I mean, and then it just gets way better from there, right? 4, 5, and 6 is awesome. You have the opportunity to make it really good if you roll higher than strength 7. If you put him with the Arc Contaminator, he's rerolling the wounds, which makes it even more of a tank killer or a character killer. So that Plague Sprayer is really good. And your opponent's going to think twice about charging you because these are automatic hits. So if he's rolling in with a character, or he's rolling in with a tank as a blocker, or whatever the case may be, to kind of screen for his units on the Overwatch, he's got to think twice, because I mean, these hits are going to hurt. You don't have to roll 6s. You're just going right into this many hits at this strength. So that Plague Sprayer is pretty beast. Now, I did get a chance to play this guy in a game. I have the battle report up on my channel. The first time I got to shoot with him, I think he did 1 damage. The second time I got to shoot with him, he was a beast and took down a Flyrant in the guy's Tyranid army. It was really awesome. It was pretty epic. So that weapon is awesome. Last thing I'm going to talk about, number 5, is going to be something that a lot of people don't take into consideration with this guy, is that he can move 5 inches, you can advance, and you can still shoot. It is an assault weapon. You don't get the minus to hit because it doesn't really matter. You wouldn't get it anyway, but he's the automatic hit. So really, with the 9-inch weapon, you have up to a 20-inch threat range with this guy, and ability to kind of crack off, like I said earlier, 18 wounds if you roll well at 20 inches. So Storm Ravens, Flyers, Dreadnoughts, basically anything outside of super heavies, you can take out in 1 turn for 77 points. Obviously, you have to have a little luck. Things have to go your way. You could roll a 1 on the advance. You could roll a 1 on the hits. You could roll 2 on the strength, and all that could blow up in your face. But if you pick and choose your targets well, and you have a strategy going in, and maybe you work with a couple of these guys, or you know, you're using them to the best of your advantage, the potential is there for he can move and shoot and hit a target at 20 inches for a lot of damage. So that's number 5. overall, I think this guy's really good. I've played with him. I do think he is the best elite choice in the Death Guard Codex. And that is a very... So the elite slot for your Death Guard Codex is a very crowded slot. You know, that's where you got your Terminators, your Blight Lords, and your Death Shroud. You have all 5 of these characters. And you have your Possessed and Hellbrutes and stuff. And I do like Hellbrutes. I like to run Hellbrutes. So you may end up looking at the possibility of having to run a detachment if you're going to run multiple elites. I mean, you only get the 3 for the battalion. If you want to take more than one Hellbrute, you want to take a couple of these, or you're looking at some of those other characters, you're probably going to have to take them into detachment. But I do think that the money slot for the Death Guard are really in that elite category. I mean, they got some really good options there. The Hellbrute is, you know, being able to move and shoot is great. I'm trying to do a video on the Hellbrute here in the next couple of weeks. But overall, I think this is the best elite choice for characters. Now, I'm not saying he's the best elite choice in the Death Guard Codex overall, but when it comes to your character choices, I think he's the best. So, question of the day: what do you guys think is the best character in the elite slot? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more videos from the Plague Den. And as always, this is Tony saying, to win all your battles in life and on the tabletop. See you later.